Hello, my soul tribe. Welcome to my channel, and I'm Celeste TT Tarot, and this is going to be Aquarius's reading. So, for my Aquariuses, please like, share, subscribe. This will be your birthday reading, and I already know we're in Gemini season. That's air season, so I think it's very appropriate. I have to be very, very, very obedient. So I don't do these readings when I want to anymore. It's when I'm divinely guided. I pray and meditate a lot before I start. There may be some things that the divine does not want out at certain points. You guys are the air sign of the moving in silence. So maybe for your birthday, there was some things you had going on, some things you were cleaning up. But whatever the case is, now I was guided to do your reading. So something I want to show you first is I was getting my nails done. Got my nails all done for Gemini season, and I came up on these Max 4 headphones, or Air Max Pro, whatever they are. I was not really into that thing, but I love headphones. I'm always traveling. So maybe some of you guys could be considering traveling. That's definitely an Aquarius thing, like the air sign. I also went through and checked this tarot deck. So everything's complete. All the kings, queens, knights, pages, and all the major arcana, minor arcana are in the deck. So I got you guys all set up. So let's get started. Now, the reason why I decided to do your reading now is because I kept getting channeled a song from Sade. I believe she is an Aquarius as well. So when I kept getting that music, that song, her songs in my head, I decided like that was a sign, if any, to go ahead and do you guys' reading. I typically try to avoid certain time frames to do readings. Now I pay more attention. So the song that I got is By Your Side by Sade. And this part kept playing over and over, but then it released the rest of the the rest of the song. So I guess that's exactly why, like, maybe you guys had something in the, like, something cooking up, and you decided, okay, you know what, like, it's release dates, music sounds better with you by Stardust was playing. And that's the, like, house song. So maybe some of you guys are jamming house music. You should definitely listen to that. That is like one of the ultimate songs I feel like for Aquarius, is to like kind of jam out. So it's that the I feel like music sounds better with you. Do 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 do. I feel like get myself together, get to move, baby. So maybe some of you guys are moving, grooving. I love it. It is summertime now. Our weather here, where I'm based out of in Chicago, it's a little bit, on and off, but it's okay. Like, we had some good, straight, hot summer days. I got your incense going here. If any of you guys are curious, it's amber. So Amber Alerts came to my mind just now. But I want to go in and channel what I feel like is your birthday song, which is By Your Side. So the part that kept playing is, how it starts off. You think I'd leave your side, baby? Do-do-do-do-do. You know me better than that. Do-do-do-do-do. You think I'd leave you down when you're down on your knees? I wouldn't do that. I'll tell you you're right when you're wrong. If only you could see into me. Oh, when you're cold, I'll be there by your side, baby. When you're on the half side, baby, and you can't get in, I will show you you're so much better than you know. When you're lost, you're alone, you can't get back again. I will find you, And darling, I'll bring you home. And if you want to cry, I'll be here to dry your eyes. And then with time, you'll be fine. You think I'd leave your side, baby? You know me better than that. You think I'll leave you down when you're down on your knees? I wouldn't do that. I'll tell you you're right when you want. If only you could see into me. Oh, when you're cold, I'll be there by your side, baby. So let's get it started. We're going to start off with the tarot. I also got the hidden truth, and I have some cards here that I made that'll give us some insight, because you guys are all about insight. So let's check in with my Aquariuses. And as I mentioned, this deck is all shuffled up. Okay, all shuffled up. Well, not shuffled up, but I checked it and organized it, so it's all organized. So I feel like that's going to make whatever comes out, like, very accurate. Okay. Shuffle it up some more. Like, I didn't pre-shuffle it. I actually organized it. So let me fix my words. Maybe some of you guys are going through that. Like, oh, I got to fix my words now. And that song kept coming here. So maybe some of you guys are like wanting or needing someone by your side. Someone to have your side. Okay. So we're going to do the reading I've been doing for the birthday squares. We're going to do the mind of the matter. Okay, we're going to do on the right hand, which is my right hand, the left hand, which is my left hand, down at the root, right and left. We're going to do the heart of the matter, and then we're going to do some like extra cards here, because I like to do it like a human form. And I was like watching some like clips. I didn't finish watching some clips. We got the overall here. I didn't finish watching some clips, but it's like kind of shaped like this like Titan thing or whatever. And I was, it's funny, like maybe some of you guys are into anime, like with this Attack of the Titans whole thing that might be going on. Maybe some of you guys are watching anime, interested in anime. I am an anime head. Aquarius is not my sun sign, as I, put on there. I have no shame in, revealing anything, because I am, as I mentioned, in tune with myself. So, often duplicated. Maybe some of you guys often duplicated but never replicated, you know what I'm saying? So like that type of energy. Let's start off at the head. You guys are thinking sign. Let's start off with what's going on with some root. Okay, right hand, heart. Like I'm just mixing it up, because I feel like whatever comes out is going to be pretty accurate. And then I'm going to try to shuffle up as much as possible the cards that I made. I have some very, as you can see, this big old deck here. So let's see what I can do with this. Okay. And they are dualistic. They are English and Spanish. I haven't spoken a lot of Spanish, but I can speak Spanish almost fluently. I like to say almost fluently, because there's always so much more you can learn. But I can communicate. I'm conversational, and I can read and write it. So I'm going to close my eyes, because they're like, you can see it here, and I don't want to influence anything. Please take my energy out. Most High, the divine. Alright, we're going to put this over here. Alright, so we're going to get started. We're going to always start with the mindset right now for you guys. So we have gratitude and appreciation. Okay, gratitud and apreciación, right? Which is the Spanish one. Gratitude, gratitud and apreciación. And appreciation, gratitude, okay, in English. And then let's go with some hidden truth. I lost myself for a little while in the tower, okay? So this is some of you guys, these towers are what's considered divine intervention. First and foremost is Scorpio energy. So maybe some of you guys could have that in your chart. Obviously, because I'm doing Aquarius's reading. And that's Aquarius no matter where it is in your chart. Because I resonate very hard with Aquarius. It's my heart. It's my Venus sign. It's how I love, how I show love, how I express love, how I receive love. It often has to be something more than just, you know, like something more than just superficial. It has to be in depth. It has to be conversational, you know. So maybe for some of you guys, you're thinking about what times when the divine was sending you signs and signals, red flags, things that you were ignoring, wasn't paying attention to, and you might have lost yourself for a little bit. And when I say lose yourself as a sun sign, like you're a mental sign. So it's like losing yourself is like losing your mind for a little bit. And sometimes some of us can think like, oh, that's a horrible thing, you know, like, you know, jumping into things. You guys can move pretty quickly with that full energy. And then the tower comes because the divine is like, hey, you're my beautiful, simple fools. And some people may take offense to that, but as an Aquarius, you know, like, you're in your own world. You can come across as ditzy sometimes, but that's okay. That's what makes you very eclectic, right? We're going to say, we're going to bring life. We're going to speak life into you. And that's where the gratitude and appreciation, I appreciate my eclecticism. Why? Because it allows me to be innovative. It allows me to be, you know, ahead of the game. It allows me to, you know, be, like when I say ahead of the game, like your mindset, you know, it gives me a sense of direction, you know, where I direct my full energy, you know, and how I take things to the next level, technological, you know, in any aspect. And Aquarius touches, you know, they try to breathe life and hope into a situation. So you have to start off with a mindset, especially if you're a sun sign, of gratitude. I'm thankful for what I have right now, the simple things, okay? I'm grateful for the simple things, you know, and how can I take that and say thank you so that I can make space, right, for more things. So maybe some of you guys have to clear out some energy. Like Scorpio energy is beautiful because only when your mind is shaken can you have a transformation. If you're just fixed, and Aquarius is a fixed sign, so this has to happen a lot of times, because only when you're fixed you can't allow space, right? Your mind is like set, and if your mind is set, there's no space for anything else, not even the divine or anyone else to come in. So the divine has to intervene to bring your attention to it. And I have you guys here next to my fish tank as well. So Ellie, my beta, is like flying over like, I approve of this message. Okay, Ellie. He is a Libra. So let us start with the heart, okay? Because like I said, it's my heart, my Venus sign, I say. So we have the Eight of Swords, Gemini energy. I know that I crossed the line with you. And then we have usury energy vampire, okay? And then on the back we have usario, usando, energía, vampiro de energía, okay? So in the heart space, for like, especially for my Venus Aquariuses, maybe some of you guys, sun sign too, but maybe for some of you guys, you felt like you were stuck, you were trapped. But as you can see here with this Eight of Swords Gemini energy, it's just like taking a second. Sometimes you have to be put in a space where you can sit down and reflect, or stand up and reflect on different, like what your heart is actually feeling. Because if your heart is fixed and feeling like it's trapped, then it can't allow that star, hopeful, faithful energy to flow in. And as you can see here, while you think you're trapped because you're thinking you're thinking out of a heart space, You're not actually trapped. The swords are actually open, and swords indicate communication, also truth. We talk about the sword of truth. If the swords are turned upside down, it's like several areas where the truth was revealed or could have been revealed to you based on how your heart felt, but you didn't trust your own intuition, didn't trust your own heart, and therefore you allowed yourself to be either energy vampired, or you vamped off of somebody else's energy, and you were using someone else and using their heart against them, or they were doing that to you, right? And so it says here, I know that I crossed the line. So some of you guys, you're well aware that you crossed certain lines or burned certain bridges or communicated certain things that you shouldn't have. For others of you, when you say you crossed the line, maybe you just threw your heart into a situation and you didn't use your mind to take a step and reflect on, well, if I do all of these things, if I communicate all of these things, how is it, like, what is the potential outcomes, or what are the potential outcomes that could come? And Aquariuses are really good at, like, having that vision, which can come across as a fire sign, right? But the way Aquariuses do it is that it's like a, how do I describe it? It's like a piercing, like, vision, like the air. You see how, like, the air flows, right? It's like the way it comes through, kind of like that kind of vision. You know how, like, we make vision bubbles, right? Thinking of a vision bubble. So this could be you sitting in a vision bubble in your heart space and reflecting on the different types of communication and or actions that you took, because also, even though the Eight of Swords look like it is not moving, the swords behind indicate that there were certain actions that were done or taken that got you feeling like you're trapped or you're stuck, okay? And because it's got you in this space, you feel like you either need energy to revive yourself, and that tower at the mental space is actually helpful for that, to, like, get you out of this muck, or you feel like someone did this to you. And because the divine is such a beautiful, wonderful divine, the Most High, I call the Most High's name Yahweh, the Tentagram. Because if someone did this to you, that tower was necessary to free you, free your mind. Another Aquarius, J. Cole, free your mind and everything will follow once you free your mind. So once your mind is free, I feel like this tower is actually necessary to come through and help clear out some of that clutter. Okay, so let's get to the roots. On the right hand, we have the Four of Swords. I'm starting to understand our connection, and we have short hair, okay? So, cabello corto, okay? So, some of you guys, and this is Libra energy, the Four of Swords. It talks about rest, recuperation, taking a break. It could also talk about a breakup. So, in your root, and like in your roots, like your physical area, your physical space, your 3D. It's possible that you are experiencing a breakup, or going through a breakup, or someone around you, close to you, that you love is experiencing a breakup, a separation. It could also talk about meditation. Maybe you are picking up meditating to root yourself into the earth, so that air can just flow through and clear out space, okay? So that's another form. Maybe some of you guys are resting and recuperating so you can heal. Maybe some of you guys were sick. It mentions short hair, so maybe some of you guys are cutting your hair and going through some new type of, like, meditation recuperation phase. So maybe, like we say the glow up, maybe this is your glow up phase and you're kind of resting from that, okay? So it could be, take it however it resonates for you. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be indifferent, right? Let's look at the left root, the left hand. Well, I'm sorry, not the left hand. So maybe I should go to the left hand before I even read that out. So we did the heart right here. We got the right hand, the left hand. Entrepreneur, empresario or empresaria. Okay, so we got entrepreneur here. Okay, and then we have strength, and I replay our conversations over and over. Okay, so We got strength. That's Leo energy. Strength talks about strength, grace, courage, standing, action oriented. It also talks about, but not so much action like doing things. Like fire energy can be also communication, fiery communication, but it also can be, you know, when it's an elevated fiery conversation, it's to spark a movement, you know, so like giving grace. It also talks about strength and courage, and having strength means having strength to kind of stand out from the crowd, having strength to face all your fears, having courage to believe in the unseen, to have faith in the unseen for you to, you know, and this is on the left hand. It's like on the left hand, you know, you feel like you're being, you feel like you're wanting to strengthen yourself and push forward, right? This could also be a push forward. So maybe some of you guys are wanting to go into entrepreneurship, or wanting to go into working for yourself and having strength and courage to face your fears and step out on faith, right? Stepping out on faith. Or maybe some of you guys are also holding back that fire energy where you could pop off, you could snap out, you could let the lion loose, right? And the lion looseth can go around and maim a whole bunch of things, right? But you're holding yourself back. You're giving grace to the situation. You're possibly waiting until you know more information. And my left hand is going, you know, just going over here. So, you know, I got it out of the way. That's how I communicate. But maybe some of you guys communicate like that. It's very fiery. So this strength energy is, I resonate with it. And on the left hand, some of you guys could also have this in your chart. Left side, you could also, it could be in areas where it could be like third eye. It could possibly be a rising sign. It could be south node. Okay, so maybe some of you guys are wanting to step out of the south node, transition yourself based on conversations, right? Communication that you had with someone about you doing your own thing, going into entrepreneurship. Okay, so that's great, actually beautiful energy. Okay, so let's go back to the left foot, the roots on the left side, you know, and let's see how this is moving. So we got the Seven of Swords, Aquarius energy. I wish I could share my good news with you. We have spirit animal, mammal, primate, elephant, seal, fox, lion, hyena, wolf, dog, cat, boar, deer, etc. And espíritu animal, what is that? Mamífero. So it's, what is that? Primate, elefante, león, and this other one is seal, hier. I can't even read my own writing, child. Gato, perro, lobo, what is that? Ceruo, and etc. So, also, which is a bear. I can just pull that one off. But anyway, Seven of Swords, so moving in silence. So on the left hand, you know, we have this saying, never let your right side know what your left side doing, and vice versa. So on the one hand side, you guys are the like kings and queens of moving in silence, right? Making plans, you know, like keeping certain communications and things that are happening to yourself, moving in silence, right? You could be moving in silence when it comes to a spirit animal. And if that spirit animal that's being embodied is a lion, because we have the strength come out, that's that fire energy. So maybe some of you guys are moving in silence about your plans, things that you plan on doing. Some of you guys could also be lying to yourself, right? Lying about, you know, knowing what the embodiment of your spirit animal is guiding you to do, guiding you to go in another direction. And maybe your left side is going in another direction that is not so honest, that is not so upright, right? Because in order for you to stand upright on a foot, your footing has to be on solid foundational ground. If you're lying to yourself on the left side because, you know, you want to, you know, plan, plot, and scheme and scam and think you're going to get away with things, you will get swept off your feet. And that's what this mind-blown energy is about. So you have to be careful what energy you're sending out. But I'm going to take it as positive because I'm here to breathe life, hope, put your energy to the fullest extent. So I do not want you guys to be like moving in a low vibrational Seven of Swords energy, because if you think about it, when it talks about spirit animal, I can give you an example. We talking about a mammal spiritual animal, but honestly, Aquarius Seven of Swords energy could be like moving like an insect. If you're moving low vibrational, like a spider, right? Just kind of look like a spider with the legs all up in the air, hunched up, thinking they're like getting away, thinking they're sneaking in your house, and you don't know that they're there, and they're just creeping around or whatever. And then you see them, right? If your spiritual animal is a mammal, which a lion is more, what came out. I'm just going off of what came out. Yours could be whatever, whatever you feel like you resonate with. Then that would be incompatible energy, and that could be why you can't get grounded, because if both feet are firmly planted, then how are you going to ground yourself? On the one hand, you got Four of Swords, Libra energy, which is the truth, justice, right? And on the other hand, you got your energy, which is, moving in silence and taking the knowledge and communication and all the information that you have and putting it together. But you want to put it together in a high vibrational way. If you put it together in a low vibrational way and then you try to suppress the truth, then it's like your feet start sinking into quicksand, right? And then that Four of Swords becomes you being laid to rest, and being stuck in the mud in your heart space and being vamped off of, because you release your energy. Everything you send out is going to come back like a boomerang. This is also a boomerang. All the lies that you put out, you're going to end up eventually, if it's upside down, eating all those swords, and then you're going to get caught up, and then you're going to have to tell the truth, because when that spider dies, it dies on its back, right? So if you're flipped over, right, then you're caught up, and so you're not moving in silence. Now everybody knows what you're about, what you got going on, and it's not of a high vibration. So I'm just explaining that to you so you guys can see how to utilize your energy, because I promise you, you use it or lose it. If you do not want to do what it takes to be on the up and up, then somebody else will, and you will be replaced. You'll be moved right on quietly along, and you'll go ahead and follow this Seven of Sword energy, and what you put out, you're going to get back, and I would hate for, with everything that's going on in the world, I would hate for that to lead to anyone's demise, because you could be in a quicksand situation just sinking down, and if your heart is stuck, right, and you can't move, right, like, because on the one hand, you think you're moving, but on the other hand, you're resting. Your right is rested. Your left is moving. I mean, how does that work, right? Or you're going to move right into being arrested, right? And rested, laid to rest, right? So that could be, final, or it could be temporary. And, we can say, when people getting arrested, like, it could be temporary, but if you get like 7 years or 70 years and you're already elderly, or, whatever age you are, even if you're a teen, if you're charged as an adult, just going through all of that could literally translate into the rest of your life until you die. So you could die in prison. So I don't want that for any of you guys. So whatever you got going on, if it's low vibrational, now is not the time, okay? Because those towers are going to be coming in. You are going to be exposed. This is exposure season. We are in 2026, okay? So let us go to the right hand. On the right hand, we have the Page of Swords. The timing just wasn't right for us. And have a heart-to-heart conversation, okay? And that's tiene una conversación de corazón a corazón, okay? So that is have a heart-to-heart conversation, okay? And then this is the timing just wasn't right for us, and we have the Page of Swords. Okay, so what is this Page of Swords? Page of Swords is air energy. It is Aquarius, Libra, and it's also Gemini energy. We are in Gemini season. So maybe some of you guys are being tasked when it comes to conversation. Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra are the air signs of communication, right? You guys are the spearhead, right? The spearheads of the communication. So things that are coming out, communication that's coming out, you guys are pretty accurate, sharp, right? Sharp at like identifying where communication is going left or where communication is going right. And I feel like that's coming out now. So if a communication is going right, then it can put to rest a lot of any issues, problems, solution oriented type of things. And maybe some of you guys are meditating on how that can happen. If it is going left, then it could be a lot of slander, gossip, drama, and unnecessary lying communication, perjury communication that could lead you to getting arrested, because what you put out, you get back. So if you're saying something that's not true, it can come back. This page energy is very, 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 it's like the action of it, because you see this person is standing up, they're in the air, right, and they're watching, right? So some of you guys could be watching how things are playing out, and seeing regarding timing, and something regarding the heart space, right? Having a heart-to-heart conversation. Okay, some of you guys, Gemini could be your Venus sign, because that came out in the heart space, and as well as, you could be having a heart-to-heart conversation with a Gemini or a Libra, because both of those came out. The Libra could be telling you something right. You could be talking to another Aquarius. You could be talking to yourself. It could be telling you something left that's wrong. You could be telling a Libra or Gemini something right, and where these things could lead, and it could be right, it could be wrong, it could be saying continue to lie. You take all of those however it resonates, but a heart-to-heart conversation nonetheless needs to happen, and action is required. And this page energy is also kind of like teenage energy, information gathering. When you're talking to like an air sign that's a teenager, or a younger, you could say a teenager, a young adult, that to me is more like page energy. Toddlers are night energies to me, as well as all the way up until they get those double digits. When they hit those double digit ages, they tend to be of a nature where you can possibly consider them going into the page energy. It just depends. So it can be seen as a very immature energy, but it's also information gathering. It's the action of how air signs, how air signs info gather before they communicate something. So maybe some of you guys need to gather more information before you communicate something, okay? And have a heart-to-heart conversation on that. Okay, so now let us do to the right this time. Six of Swords, Aquarius energy. I don't react when people mention you. And then we have trabajadora or trabajador de fábrica. Okay, and then we have factory worker. Okay, so we have here your energy. Six of Swords means moving to calmer waters. It could also mean moving out, moving on, moving forward. Some of you guys could be, since it is, getting warmer, on a yacht, boat rides, because they are in a ship, of some kind of transition. Some of you guys are going through that. And maybe that's your way of dealing with a situation. You don't react when people mention you because you're presenting on the right hand of a fact that you're moving forward. And we got the swords here. The swords are upside down. So you could be not addressing something in a proper manner and making a transition, but you're on a sinking ship. So the more you don't address something, the more you try to avoid something, the worse it gets. And eventually you're not going to make it to your destination with the swords in the boat. You can also look at this as like Hulk, who goes there when you're trying to move forward and transition. Some of you guys, somebody could be transitioning around you. It could be a final or temporary. You take it however it resonates. If it is final, my condolences once again. If it's temporary, it literally just means like somebody's moving to a different phase. As you can see here, the land is pretty far away with these swords in the boat, okay? So I don't know if you not responding or reacting is a good thing. It could have to do with somebody's line of work. Like maybe you, factory worker, maybe you want to start You're like start your own factory, get workers for your factory. If that's your line of work, maybe you're considering becoming a factory worker and you really are just trying to transition and you don't really want to talk about it, right? Because that's on the right hand. This is something that you kind of always wanted to do, right? In your transition phase, maybe you want to become a worker somewhere else. Maybe somebody else is doing that. So these are all, take however all those resonate, right? And then we have on the left side, the Three of Swords, Libra energy. I left when I saw you with someone, and financial struggles, burdens, and issues. Okay? And that would be luchas, cargas, problemas financieros. Okay? So some of you guys could be disappointed. It talks about heartbreak, disappointed. Could also be third party situations. Because you see the swords are in the heart, right? So Libra energy, that heartbreak is like, it can make you feel like you're bottomed out, you're all emotionally spent when it comes to your heart, but it's like it's only up from there. So the positive to that is like, if lies, gossip, and slander caused a heartbreak, a disappointment, or anything caused any type of destruction, shattering in your life, the sun comes out after, the sun shines after that heartbreak. Like, you can get over it, you can overcome. But if you are going through this, once again, my condolences. I would say listen to that song I mentioned, listen to some house music. House music has the that energy to like re-spark you, Three of Swords in that high vibration. And I know people's like, what? How could Three of Swords ever be a high vibration? It could be a high vibration because sometimes if your heart is set on something and you're not listening and you're not able to take in guidance with those swords in the heart, it kind of like poke holes in the heart that obviously once the swords are removed, you would heal, that heart can recover and re-heal itself. And we're not talking literal. So if some of you guys like had a heart attack, or somebody around you had a heart attack and they're transitioning, my condolences, okay? I'm trying to channel that. I'm trying to stay positive here, that if this was like something that really hurts you to the core, then you gain a level of experience from that. So it may be a setback that may have put you on the right hand in this page energy, but that's a good thing, because it's like now you know better, you do better. Now I'm gonna gather more information before I leap into, like going through the motions and, doing this, doing that. I'll gather more information, and I'll before I move forward, decide to move forward and put my heart on the line, because I don't want my heart to be in this space. I don't want to be hurt to the core ever again. I don't want these financial problems, struggles, and burdens and issues. I don't want any of this created in my life, okay? So whatever you guys are going through, you can get over it. You need to get solution oriented and start information gathering, okay? Great. So we're going to do the overall energy. At the top, we have friends, family involved, okay? So this could have something to do with friends and family that's involved, okay? Amigos, familiares, and involucrados, okay? So this could have something to do with your friends and family, and nobody can hurt you worse than your family and your friends and people that you are very close with, that you are always involved with. Nobody can hurt you worse than that, okay? So at the top of the deck, we have Page of Wands. Okay, so you could have gotten information that was very exciting. This Page of Wands energy is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy. You could have gotten some information that about a friend. A friend could have, a fire sign could have gave you information about yourself, about someone else. You take it however it resonates, and that could have brought up information about whether or not it's good or bad or indifferent. What I'm seeing here is it seems like it's good information, right? Because it's Page of Wands upright, meaning like it could be Some people can look at it as childish communication, like an idea, plan, a goal, like, oh yeah, we got this, we can do this, this can help you get off your feet, this can help you get out of your financial issues, like this is an option, this is what can be done, right? But you have to be careful because this page is holding up this wand like this is the solution, but it's still a page energy. They're taking action towards it, but is it going to have long-term sustainable effect? Is it something established or is it something new? And new things can spark up very quickly, but they can spark out just as quickly. So you have to information gathering that page of swords to make sure it's something soluble, okay? And if it involves family, or some type of family business or whatever, plan, goals, then, be careful here because that Three of Swords is here on the left side. And at the top, it's time for me to heal now. So that's kind of what I was getting to, healing, okay? So this has all come full circle, resonating. So now I'm going to get the bottom. So what I did was I took literally the card off the top, okay? And that's what that was, okay? It is time for me to heal now, okay? So some of you guys are like, hey, I don't want to be bothered, family, friends, I love y'all, but I need to heal, okay? I need time. This caused a lot of stress, financial issues. I felt like I was taken advantage of. I felt like this blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I can't believe that, on the one hand, I was lying to myself, or you were lying to me, and I need a break, okay? So all of this, I need to transition and move forward from this, okay? I don't want to be bothered. And then let's pull the card from the bottom, okay? And it says, I want to feel that way again, okay? So maybe, like I said, there's always, a light after the dark tunnel. And some of you guys, like, this is not going to stop you from loving or looking after your family and friends. It literally just, you know better, you do better. So it possibly, hopefully with this strength energy, you can set more healthier boundaries, do more information gathering, what you guys do best, before you move forward with something. And then we have the Nine of Swords, Gemini energy. So this is that stress, anxiety, that worrying, that you are experiencing, because it's all here in the cards. And after this, is the Ten of Swords, which is also Gemini energy. And that means, like, you're stressed out about making certain decisions that maybe cut certain family members or friends off. Maybe you're put in a very tough situation. Like, this is what the cards are saying. And you've been gathering information and it's bringing you to this stressful point. But once you make that decision and you act on that with that Ten of Swords, like, there's nothing else, like, after that, like, you can move forward again and get back into that full energy, okay? Which is your energy, okay? So we have 8 months, 8 meses, okay? Which was at the bottom. 8 months, 8 meses, okay? So this could be happening in 8 months. This could be, so something can be happening in 8 months. Something could be occurring in 8 months. You could be planning a move in 8 months. You could be planning a transition to another employment in 8 months, starting your own in 8 months. The Strength card was here. You could be struggling or enacting your strength, courage, and grace to face something in 8 months. Or 8 months is the period that you're going to need to heal before you transition to the next phase. So that is what I got for you guys. Pretty quick, pretty straightforward. I mean, you guys are pretty quick and straightforward. I don't see there's anything that I need to clarify. I think that's pretty straightforward. I guess I'll cut in the middle and I'll just do a random card. I just pulled it, just cut it. I'll pull another random card just to get you a little bit more information. Cut here and pull a random card, close my eyes because it has like a front and a back. And then I'll hold this up for you guys, right? So you can see. So we have the Hierophant card, okay? Taurus energy. And I did mention Earth. I slipped up and said Earth, okay? So Taurus energy could be dealing with one. I have that in your chart. We have Firefighter here. Bombero or Bombera, okay? Firefighter. And then we have here, so many things remind me of you, okay? So So Taurus energy is like talks about structures, traditions, customs. It could be a church. It could be an organization. Typically, it is these nonprofits. It's organizations that help give to the poor. We look at it as higher fine energy is like the most high, the divine, in some regards, because that higher fine energy, he tasks you with looking after, taking care of your neighbor, looking after your neighbor, not coveting or taking anything from your neighbor, getting back to the custom. Maybe some of you guys could be going back and forth between your own customs and traditions and comparing them with what the Most High says, or preaches, maybe what your pastor preaches, regardless of what denomination you are in. Maybe some of you guys could be reflecting on that. We have here a firefighter. So maybe some of you guys feel like you are being rescued by the Most High. Maybe some of you guys feel like the Most High is burning down your foundation. Maybe some of you guys feel like the Most High is putting out the fire of your foundation and allowing you to spark up a new flame, a new plan to start anew. Maybe some of you feel like that the Most High is sending you reminders of different things, customs, traditions. So however this resonates for you, maybe some of you guys want to start a career as a firefighter and you feel like that is your divine path. It's something you always wanted to do and you're getting reminders from somebody maybe you had a communication with. Maybe it was that fire sign, that Page of Wands energy. Could also be a Page of Swords, a Libra, another Aquarius, or Gemini. So that was just additional information. The Most High could be calling you to listen and pay attention to do your information gathering. So you take, because maybe you could have in your friends and family some kind of energy vampire or whatever, that's vamping off of your heart, that's emotionally, energetically vamping off of you, emotionally manipulating you, crossing the line with you, pushing boundaries with you. Okay, so you take it however it resonates. That I will end there. Okay, thank you for visiting my channel, and I hope you are having a good day. Thank you.